Welcome to the DK His, as you know what we talking about. Welcome to the DK His, that's what we gonna run our mouth. Hey y'all, just a little disclaimer. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. Everything is alleged. I don't know none of these people. I'm just giving my thoughts, my opinions, predictions on what I think I see and know and hear. And I want you to do the same down in the comment section. So don't take everything too seriously, but only with a grain of salt, because you know we be shoving it up in this kitchen. And welcome, glad to have you. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you've been here a couple of times, we'd love to have you in the fam bam. We're here to talk about Jamie, y'all. And excuse the back pictures, it's just a rotation for entertainment purposes only, okay? Yeah, I'm trying to get them right, but some of them were recycled. All right, so apparently people are thinking the worst for Jamie. They're putting out that propaganda and news that he's not okay, that senior prayers, he's on his last leg. And since I had spoken on Jamie's situation, I just felt like speaking on it today. I will say that's very sad. It's very unfortunate. However, I've always been a person not to really pay attention to propaganda or news. But at the end of the day, that's how you get a lot of your information, via news. But also, I do remember that they said that Jamie posted a message about him being thankful and feeling blessed. But the way they're talking about now is like he's having medical conditions that they are not disclosing. So if you're not disclosing something, then it's almost as if, yeah, it could maybe be some kind of substance involved allegedly, but that's not confirmed. But it's like, if it's like a heart attack or stroke or something, a lot of people probably say that, but it was speculation that there was some intoxication in it. And if you do put something in somebody's something, then sometimes people won't be able to identify the substance, and then sometimes the substance could be a substance that makes sense, but we don't really know. But it does appear that when it says, praying, like waiting on the worst, it's giving to me the impression that they may be taking him off life support. But with that being said, I didn't know he was in a coma. Because usually people that's on life support are in a coma, like they're in a vegetative state. And if he's in a vegetative state, allegedly, because we don't know, because I'm not in the hospital and I haven't talked to anybody, just to be clear, these are just me talking about the topic. To the best of my knowledge, I'm not there. But if he's in a vegetative state, and the tweet was made within like a week and a half ago, then that means he never woke up. That means he would have to be in a vegetative state for 4 months. But that doesn't make any sense to me either, because people are saying that he was fine, that he was doing better, he was doing good. So at the end of the day, some people are saying he's okay. And some people saying, like, the doctor's saying this and that. And we do know there's, never mind. Well, allegedly there's people out there that may want one of the ways to go one way. And then there's people out there that want it to go another way. So different stories is probably what's going to be out there, because people want to push their narrative, right? But at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and I think Claudia Jordan was talking about the fact that they don't really expect it to be good to an extent about his condition. But they also said that a lot of people are keeping a hush lip. Well, that's to be expected, considering the high profility, the condemnation of the whole ordeal. It's a lot surrounding it. And she's saying that he has canceled work. Further work is what they're thinking that's going to happen with him. So if he's recovering, yeah, that would probably mean he's going to take a long time to recover. That's crazy. But if he's on life support, that doesn't necessarily, and is taken off of life support, which we don't know if he is or not. But that's what is just a speculation, because of the fact that they're saying they're not expecting a word. So it's just like, did he automatically go into another shock or something to make him in a better state, which is something that I fear, because when it's a high profile situation like this, and people know people that know people, and people got money and people got bags, it's like, will your brother have your back. You know, will your brother sell you out, or you your brother's keeper? And that can go for anybody. It's like you can't really trust anybody. And at the end of the day, I don't even go to hospitals like that. I go, but if I was in this situation, baby, that'd probably been the last place I would have went. But at the same time, you know, those are where you normally gotta go, right? But if you don't know, people like that are connected to doctors. They're connected to lawyers, judges, allegedly. So nobody's safe. Nobody can really be trusted, right? So I was just hoping that he had somebody really good around him. Really, really good around him. But then two people have lives. So it's really hard to say that somebody's going to be with him 24/7 for 4 whole weeks and never take a break. That's not expected. I don't feel like nobody's able to do that, especially when he being a grown man, and he probably has grown children and they have lives and lives and lives and lives. So at the end of the day, like, you can't even trust the people that take care of him to an extent, because all it takes is that one person to say, how much money do you want? $1 million? 2? And a person who is tired of their job every day, who's to say what they will or will not do? You know what I'm saying? But that's hopefully not the case. Hopefully not the case. And then too, let's say there's a family member that he done rubbed the wrong way, because you do know you got some family members that get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? So unless he's supervised 24/7 with somebody who's genuine, and at the end of the day, in this industry, in this time, and in just general, it's hard to say who's genuine and who's not. It's like you really can't talk to people. You really can't put your business out there for everybody to know whether he's doing good or bad. Because if he's doing good, they're gonna send somebody else to do the job. If he's doing bad, then they're going to be overjoyed and whatever, you know. So you really can't speak on too much if there's a situation and crisis really and truthfully going on. And it's giving me that it could be, considering the fact that people don't want to talk. Nobody's saying anything. People are not saying anything. And if something does happen to him, this will be the talk of the decade. I think it's going to be talked about years from now. But not only will it be talked about, somebody's gonna probably do something about it, if that makes sense. So I don't think people want that to happen, but I can see that happening if, and let me be clear, I'm not even a big follower of Jamie like that. The only reason I'm really speaking on Jamie is because so many people are concerned about him. So I talk about things that affect people. Okay. I feel like he's a good guy. You know, I feel like I've enjoyed his content. And he's starting to look better over the years, I must say, because I used to think he wasn't that cute. But over the years, he's looking better. I'm going to just throw that out there because I was surprised myself. So at the end of the day, I mean, he's a nice guy. And he had, you know, connections, apparently. He was getting footages. Oh, that wasn't funny. But maybe it was. I don't know. But I do wish him the best. I do hope for the best. And I'm still praying for him. And I know people out there wishing him the best. But you can't always believe the things that you hear and half or even what you see. I would encourage the family or anybody who is close. I know he's close to Nick. I don't know if Nick has talked to LifeWave, but there's people who have alternative medicines that probably could help him. And I would say that, even though allegedly you would probably need to speak to a doctor, even though I probably wouldn't, but that's what a doctor recommends, that you do see them first before going to those kind of remedies. But there are some people out there in TV land that helps people with weird situations, and if you can't help them, they have spiritual practitioners and people who can help those extraordinary situations that are unexplainable, if that makes sense. And that would probably be an option if you were able to find anybody like that, or if somebody like that has reached out to you. But it's crazy too, because you just got to really watch them too. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people have good intentions and sometimes people don't have good intentions, you know, so you got to make sure you find the right person that has backing and people, you know, can back them. But with it being said, a lot of people, I'm sure, are willing to keep their mouth shut. Because they have. Not many people are saying too much. And a lot of people are knowing there's things at stake. So who's to say how far they will go? And for a person who is not really capable of doing it themselves, they are going to have to rely on other people to do this for them. And I would encourage those people who really care to reach out to those people for this individual, or get their families and friends and contact people who can help. But at the same day, like, it's just like, who can you trust this day and age? But I'm hoping for the best. I still am hoping for the best and believing in the best. It's really sad and unfortunate that we got to depend on social media and news for updates on things. It'd be great if he did a video and let people know. But then too, if it's a serious situation and he know that people would be mad about the video, then it's best not to make a video, if that makes sense. So it's very sad. It's very tragic, but it's also seems to be a very real topic, a very real situation, and it's really nothing to play about. I really can't imagine him being on life support. I really can't imagine that. So the issue, I mean, if he's like throwing up, if he's hurling or something like that because of a chemical imbalance or something like that, that would make sense. Or the body is just rejecting it, that makes sense. But if it's, or maybe it was a pre-existing health condition gone bad based on the situation, I'm not really sure. But at the same time, I'm still hoping for the best. I want to hope for the best. I can't imagine anything happening to him, and I don't want to imagine it, but it's not something that really people can really physically talk to you about, really physically give you the hard facts on, because at the end of the day, it's so much at stake. And at the end of the day, who can you trust? At the end of the day, who is not out there for $1? At the end of the day, money can make people do some wicked things at times. And at the end of the day, that may be why the situation is what it is. But at the end of the day, the only thing you can do is stay positive and not bring into the negative, because I do know miracles can happen. And I do know there's help available for him out there. But if a person is sick and on their bed, it's not much that they can physically do for themselves. So I'm just hoping the angels and that can work and do things on his behalf and for him will be willing to do that. But if not, this will always be a memorable moment, which I feel like they will. I'm hoping they will. I feel like it will definitely be a memorable moment. If something does happen to him, then it's gonna probably be some heads rolling, some people talking. It's probably gonna be some stuff hitting the motherfucking fan. And I'm not saying literally, but physically too. And I don't even want to see that happening, because it's a lot of love out here for him, and it's a lot of people acting like they done had enough, and there's a lot of people talking about it. They ain't the only one it's gonna happen to, and people at some point, people gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and at that point they gonna whoop some tags. That's just what it is. I mean, that's just how it is. You can't keep hitting a dog, and a hit dog gonna holler, and then eventually he gonna take a chunk or bite out of that task, and that just is what it is. And let's hope that this won't be the situation. But at the same time, he went from doing good one moment, then next minute he not doing so good. So who can we trust? Who can we depend on? Is anybody able to get to him that can help him? Or is it a high profile so much that nobody can even access him if they wanted to try to even offer him the help that he needs? And if that's the case and he's not reachable, then praying and laying of hands will be like the only option if there is bad news. But however, if there isn't bad news, good for that, because if there is good news, there's not much you can talk about because of the people and the agenda. Let's move forward and let's hope for the best. Well, as always, thank you for stopping by at the His House. for your alleged tea, entertainment, and gossip, and predictions. And we will definitely have more. So definitely come back and see us. And if you want to be notified, hit that bell and also subscribe, especially if you've been here before. Come back again and again. But subscribe and join the fam bam. We'd love to have you. And if you liked anything that was said on today, or even made you laugh, joke, think, ponder, make sure you hit that thumbs up or that like button, especially if you agree or disagree, and comment down below.